Who would you rather have in your team, Roberto Firmino or Marcus Rashford? Well, it appears, according to latest reports, that Barcelona favour leaning towards Marcus Rashford as a long-term replacement for Luis Suarez. I don't know if that's only in relation to Roberto Firmino or whether it's top of their list, but where would you put him?
I need Rashford's agent is what first thing comes to my mind. Listen, all things being equal, whether we're talking about this Barcelona team or in fact any team, I go with Roberto Firmino quite easily. Now, the only difference is, and it's quite startling, is the age difference between the two. Firmino just turned 28, Rashford will be turning 22 shortly. So you see more of a long-term upside in Rashford. But in terms of right now, and if we're talking about a replacement for Luis Suarez to come right in and who would do the better job, I thought it was an easy answer in Firmino.
If they're looking for a goal scorer, it seems a bit strange that they would have Rashford top of that list. Surely, I mean, it's not his clinical finishing is not what you would associate.
No, it's not,
one strength.
And it's not in Luis Suarez's class either, or arguably Roberto Firmino's. I think the difference here is that Rashford sees himself and prefers to play through the middle. Now, I know he can drift out wide to very good effect, as he does on occasion with Manchester United, but more often than not with the England national team. And Firmino almost prefers to sit off a little bit deeper and cover that ground that maybe the front two, in Liverpool's terms, Mane and Salah don't pick up. And his work rate is almost indescribable at this point. So maybe if you're thinking you want somebody just to be in and around the box and finish off opportunities when they present themselves, maybe you think Rashford is a better option because Firmino likes to play a little bit deeper. But again, even as I say that, I'm not buying that argument myself entirely. If you offer me one of those two players to play in my front line, right now, it's going to be Firmino every single time.
So Rashford raises the eyebrows. Certainly the Barcelona signings over recent years have raised eyebrows as well. Taking a look at what they've been able to put and bring through the door, a lot of money outlay for Coutinho. Of course, that didn't happen or didn't work. Ousmane Dembele still yet to bear fruit. Antoine Griezmann, we'll see if that pays off. But looking for the future here, if you're saying that Griezmann is the future, would they not be better suited to maybe a high-profile pursuit of Kylian Mbappe through the centre, or someone who can play with Griezmann, or Harry Kane, who's obviously a goal threat in that way?
Yeah, those two very good options. Obviously, would cost a whole lot more money. Whether Kane is your right fit, well, you'll have to see. Certainly in terms of finishing, I don't think there are many in world football as good or as clinical as Harry Kane. Does he fit into your system? Again, that's a decision for the Barcelona hierarchy to figure out. Kylian Mbappe, again, for me, one of the best players and the heir apparent to the throne whenever Ronaldo and Messi decide to hand it over to somebody else. I think Mbappe is in poor position to be regarded as the world's best player. But for the last couple of years, strong links with Real Madrid, whether that decision has already been made, either from Real Madrid's or more to the point, from his own perspective, maybe there's some news floating around behind the scenes that we aren't aware of, which maybe is telling Barcelona just to keep their hands off or keep it at arm's length, certainly for the time being. So there are a lot of options, but no question is they've spent a lot of money in trying to figure out this front three since the departure of Neymar, and more times than not, they've hit the post.
On a yes and no then, if they went for Rashford, is it a success?
Right now I'm going to go for a no.
All right, so there we go. Barcelona, I think again maybe in some of those sporting director decisions.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.